Hi everyone, again. I am in a different setup today. The back's a bit messy, and my specs are reflecting back the windows that I am currently viewing through my eyes, so ignore that. And ignoring those things, come sit with me for a second. Let's have a quick chat. That felt so cringy for some reason, but I mean it. Let's talk. So, this is my room now. This used to be me and my brother's room. We used to study together in the same room, but now this is my room, so we love that for me. Um, Today is the start of a new chapter because things have been turning in a new direction for me. Not only academically, but also like as a person. Today marks a day where I get to see the world in eyes that I didn't have before. So I had 3 months of holiday, right? And in that period, I went through something phenomenal that has changed me for the better or for the worse, I don't care, but inevitably it has led to me right now here talking to you guys, which I think is going to be for the better, so I'm going to stay on course. But the phenomenal thing that occurred, it wasn't me having my own room or me going other places or me becoming better that made it so phenomenal, but it was the transformation that occurred when I did all of those things. It's this act of, I think, just trying to articulate what life is. And I know that's so abstract. Like, you're saying like 24 or 7 you're thinking about what life is to you, and that's what's phenomenal. But honestly, if a person is thinking about what life is to them every single day, to the point where they understand life in such a sense that it becomes easier for them to handle, then how is it in any way unproductive or not needed? Because I think and I really believe that I wouldn't be me if I didn't think about life as much as I did, and I couldn't be someone called Vaishnavi if not for the preparation, the skills, the knowledge, the wisdom that I have gained from just thinking about life. And I think I need to elaborate on this. What does thinking about life mean? Huh. And why is it so phenomenal? It's phenomenal now because I am in a place where I wasn't sure I would be. I am in a place where I am not stressed in any sort of way. I know how to handle myself. I know how to become and still own that becoming. Like, I know who I am. Okay, I know who I am. Let's make it simpler for us, okay, guys? I know who I am now. So, to come to this point, if I did not think about life, I would not know who I am, because who I am is directly what helps me understand what life is to me. So, the more I understand what life is, I understand that this is who I am because that's how I am viewing this life thing. So, I am not viewing life as hard or with a label, because I am much more than a label. I am not Vaishnavi. I am much more than that. I am much deeper than that. I have much more knowledge and wisdom than her, than what she's portraying. And I know that because I know that life is also so much more than just black and white labels that we put onto it. Then the phenomenal thing that has basically occurred right now is the fact that I know what life is. And that's phenomenal to me because so much of my life and so much of the lives of people around me are on autopilot. We don't know what we are living for, and obviously we are also not going to know what living means for us if we don't know what life is for us. And if we don't know all of these things, we are going to live on autopilot, and that's okay. It's not a bad thing to be living someone else's reality, be living in someone else's same lifestyle, but it is much more freeing if you get to live yours. And that's also a truth that you have to accept at some point. So at one point I accepted that because I understood and realized that I am different. I can't handle life the way my people around me handle it. And it's not their fault and it's not my fault because we can't control how we were built. But I do and am capable of actioning my life now in such a way that I can be someone who gets to live in a structure that I have done for myself. So now this structure that I've created is phenomenal because I've created it from the core of the knowing that I know who I am and I know what I want in life. So how did I create this structure? What is this structure? The structure I'm talking about isn't me doing to-do lists or me waking up every day at a certain time or me sleeping at a certain time. In fact, those are the things that are still not yet done. Like, I have the worst sleep schedule, but still that doesn't bother me anymore. And I know I should be bothered by it at some point, but for now I'm not bothered by it because I have other things to tend to, and the other things that I'm tending to is in my structure. So let me try to deconstruct this structure for you. I know I am very intuitive. I know that if I read a book, let's take a book. If I read a fictional book, I am going to be invested in that book, okay? Each and every hour of the day, my hands will be holding this book like it's treasure, okay? That's the amount of honor, respect, gratitude, and time that I invest into that book. And if I don't have that mentality while reading that book, I'm going to feel like that's not me because that's how I read a book. So then my structure is me having to make the effort to come back to this energy of reading a book in my own way. In the same way, if I want to be in my life in my own way, I have to constantly stay in course with my energy. I can't take in the opinions, the projections, the insecurities of other people because I don't want to be in their inner worlds because that isn't my structure. So my structure is basically everything that is not mine. And it's that simple. My structure is basically how I choose to live, which is not how others live. So my structure is mine because it's not how other people live. And more than physically doing things and physically being a different person, I'm talking about mindsets, I'm talking about perspectives, I'm talking about my personality. I choose to be in my energy, in my heart space, in my little self love habits and things, because I do not, and I believe that I will never ever want to live win another person's structure, because I feel like that is me accepting cowardice in my end. Because I've spent too much of my life blaming how I have lived for something that is not good and something that should be fixed, that I do not care about fixing it more. I do not care about refining myself more now, because now what's most important to me right now is just focusing on not not being like someone else, because that's too generic. It's choosing to have my structure which I have a sense of, but choosing that with the intention that I will not live like how other people live. And I have accepted that, and now I love life. I love life. Not because it's easy, not because it's hard, but because it's the perfect balance of not good enough and not bad enough. And that's the exact place where I want to be, because it makes me want to take on more challenges to make it harder for me, but still, it makes me want to succumb to my everyday life because it comforts me. So I am in this neutral space, which is why I think I am phenomenal right now, because I don't want to go on the spiral again, but let me go on another tangent. Everything that I do right now is something that helps me guide myself to my North Star, which is peace. So, whatever I do, however I do need to do what I need to do, everything is going to happen from my intention of having peace in my life. And peace doesn't require thinking. So, how can I stop my mind from ruining the things that bring me peace? And how can I be in peace? So, that's it. That's the only thing that I have to focus on right now. I do not need to focus on how other people are living, what they are telling to me, what their insecurities are, how empathic I need to be for them. I just need to focus on how can I distance myself from the projections of other people, because those projections will never ever serve the structure that I have created for myself. And this structure has taken a lot of effort, a lot of time, a lot of hardship, a lot of pain. Okay, so believe me, I am not going to go out of this. I am not going to live in another energy that is not mine anymore, because, oh honey, I know how I want to live. I know how I go through life, and I am okay being different now. So I do not want your opinion. I would love criticism, constructive criticism. Don't misunderstand me, but you understand that sometimes different people need a moment to bask in their difference, and that's where I'm at right now. And if you're the same way, I think it's going to be beneficial for you too if you just stuck with yourself for once. Stand up for yourself, stick with who you are and how you want to live. Is that too generic? I don't know. But for me, for my life right now, and how I am living it, it's a very profound thing that I'm doing, and I pat myself on the back for that. Anyways, I think that's it. So I'll see you in the next video.